Rebecca, it's Beatrice.
Hello, Beatrice. It's Rebecca. How are you?
I've got a bit of a cold, as you can probably hear. But otherwise I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
Good. I'm all right. It's so nice to talk to you. I miss talking to you.
Same here. So what have you been up to?
Well, I'm currently in the middle of a 2-week holiday, but as you know, I couldn't be without you for another week, so we had to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which is really nice because I'm doing the absolute minimum humanly possible. We're just taking Coda on walks on the beach, and that's like enough activity. Oh, and I must tell you, I've got this book that I'm about to embark on reading it's called Baroque Between the Wars, and it's got a chapter on silver paper.
Oh wow, Baroque Between the Wars, that sounds amazing. Oh, you must tell me when you've read it.
Yes, I will. But I'm thrilled that any book in the world would have a chapter on silver paper.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, and what about you? How was your time in Germany?
It was really nice. I saw a lot of dirndls.
Oh, interesting.
Because I went to Bavaria, so a lot of the places we went to for meals, the staff uniform was dirndls, and
wow,
it was quite interesting because I was half contemplating, sort of not really totally seriously, getting one. And there's so many different options, so it's actually not that easy. There was one woman who had a really nice one, which was very plain, because often you have a patterned top and top part, etc. So that was good. The weather was awful, but otherwise it was really nice.
Did you get to have nice swimming?
Yes, we had amazing swimming. They had a really, really nice swimming pool right near the lake.
Lovely.
And despite the rain, we swam outside. And the last day I even managed to go into the sea, which was super cold.
Fabulous. I like swimming in the sea in the rain.
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know, very magical about that.
Yeah, it was very cold, so it was only about maybe 3 minutes, but it was really nice.
Oh, well, you're brave, because I keep looking at the water and thinking, I want to go in, and then I think, but it's so cold and I don't want to die of hypothermia.
You need to get a wetsuit.
I do.
Yeah, in a nice colour. I don't think they come in nice colours, but maybe they can custom make one for you.
Yes. I'm sure someone would love to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
For my one swim in cold British seawater. Or maybe I'd go every week.
Exactly. You might go every day.
I might go, from Brixton.
Yeah, well, okay. Doesn't quite
Not when I'm back home.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds very good.
Yeah, no, it was good.
And I also wanted to tell you about a film I'd watched, which I've become a bit obsessed with aspects of.
Okay,
so I watched the documentary about Kevyn Aucoin, you know, the makeup artist?
Yes, I have a Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curler.
Oh, do you? And would you recommend it to me?
Very much. It's very good because it opens much wider than the other one I had before, which is also a very famous make, which was good, but I prefer this one.
Because I've got a Shiseido one, which is nice, but it kind of pokes me. I think it's too big for me.
Yeah,
it pokes me in the side of my eye.
You do need to get the right one for your eye shape. I discovered that.
Okay, well, I'm going to try that. I have a very nice sort of shimmery lip gloss of his, which I also recommend to you because it's rose gold and that's very flattering.
Oh, nice.
Many skin tones. But it was a very interesting and very moving, because it's very sad at the end, the documentary. But I have a couple of things that I just need you to share and be equally overwhelmed by. Okay. Number one, this earlier makeup artist called Way Bandy, which I love, just the fact that he's called Way Bandy. Yeah. And I don't know if he discovered contouring, but he certainly was the one who really made it an art form, and he wrote a book on it.
Oh, wow.
And that's enough. That would be enough.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm really obsessed with is that apparently when he was making up a model for a black and white photograph, he made them up in grayscale makeup.
God, that's amazing. Did they have any photos of that?
No, it was so frustrating because they have a photograph of a model photographed in black and white, and obviously she looks amazing, but you can't tell, you know? And I want to see pictures, like colour pictures of the models with black and white makeup.
Yeah.
And I want to be told everything about this and everything to do with how it evolved and whether anyone else was doing it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, because there's also people sometimes talk about in the silent era that they were using weird colours. So
I know, because once you know that, you can kind of see that particularly the men look weird. Because I think, didn't they have their faces like yellow or green or something?
I have a feeling it was green. It comes up in Vile Bodies in the.
Does it?
Yeah, because at some point.
Oh, it's years since I read that.
Yeah, the protagonist, he goes off to his fiance's father, and his father has got into film, and I think I'm quite sure it comes up there that they're all wearing green makeup.
Wow.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
That's amazing. I mean, because I've seen, like, in RuPaul's Drag Race, sometimes there are one of the drag queens will do, like, grayscale makeup as a kind of, you know, classic Hollywood tribute. And it looks incredible. It's, like, amazing. But the idea you would do it for black and white photographs, I'm just... Yeah, I mean, because I've come away on holiday shortly... You know, like I came away on holiday a couple of days after seeing the film, so I haven't had time to
try it.
Research to try it. Yeah, I'm not. I think it's going to take some serious practice for me to manage it. But I'm just blown away by this whole thing.
Yeah.
So there's that.
You know what? It also reminds me of is
what?
In the 80s, like Visage. What was the person?
Oh, of course, Steve Strange.
Yeah, I think maybe I misremember.
Wow, I haven't thought of that.
Maybe I misremember.
Because there's that song Fade to Grey.
Oh yeah, true, there is, yeah.
Oh my lord, now we've got a soundtrack for when we learn how to do this makeup.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Yes, because his makeup is like Pierrot or something, isn't it? It's like
I guess that's what it
very
is, yeah.
sort of new romantic and theatrical. So it's not exactly the same as this, but it links.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Okay, so we need to rewatch the Fade to Grey video. And also in Ashes to Ashes, doesn't David Bowie...
That's a good one. Yeah, we need to look at that as well.
And isn't Steve Strange in that?
He might be.
Oh my goodness. So there's a new romantic connection.
Yeah.
And then also in the film, and I will get to amazing Kevyn Aucoin in a second, Sandy Linter is in it, who I really like. I
don't know who she is.
I follow her on Instagram, and she's fabulously fabulous. And she wrote a book, Beatrice, on disco makeup.
Oh.
Which we have to find a copy of.
No, we do.
Like, we really, as a priority, have to get a copy of this.
I think there's a YouTube channel coming up of us trying out all the different makeup.
Beatrice and Rebecca attempt grayscale. Beatrice and Rebecca attempt disco. Oh, I think that's a YouTube channel, a film.
A whole empire.
A whole empire based on us attempting different makeup.
Kim and Kylie, watch out.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh my god. So it was really fun to see her being interviewed and talking about Kevyn Aucoin and talking about that makeup. So that was amazing. And then also he is clearly super amazing. And the thing that I found really intriguing with him is how meticulous and how it almost seems like kind of intuitive his approach to the face was. Because like someone compares it to like artists underpainting, that he really understood how to kind of do a layer to sort of even out and then another layer, and he never just used one colour of foundation. So really kind of understanding the tones in skin, which I think is fascinating. And he would take hours, and so photographers and everyone else would just have to wait until he'd perfected it, which of course that's fine. And then I really I was looking at the like his sort of period of like the 90s, like amazing. It's weird because it's like it's natural makeup, but it's darker than that. It's more kind of pronounced than that. Really, really beautiful. And of course he did books as well, so there's like a whole shelf full of makeup books we need to buy.
Yeah,
and copy from.
And I only know him from when I used to watch Lisa Eldridge's videos religiously,
Yes.
and she often mentions him. And I don't know whether she met him or
she was in the film.
Apparently he was. I have a feeling she always said that he was super nice as well, just a really nice person.
Yeah, he seemed it, and the makeup. It's just beautiful. Because of course he did J-Lo's makeup, and I mean, she's beautiful.
Oh wow.
Because do you remember that? Is it Waiting for Tonight that there's a video where she's got sparkly makeup on? We've definitely got to try that, where like her whole face is glittering.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's another one we need to watch.
That sounds great.
Complete face sparkle makeup is another thing we need to do.
Yeah, so there's 3 we need to try out.
Yes,
in the first instance.
As the first tranche of attempts.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And
this is very good.
I've been wondering recently, because we've talked about other films, why there's such a spate of films about fashion designers and makeup artists, and to me the Studio 54 film, which I haven't seen yet.
Oh, I saw that. That's really good.
That for me, that's sort of part of all that. And,
it is.
And I was just wondering, do I just think there are so many at the moment?
No, I think there definitely are, because there's a Cecil Beaton one. I don't know if it's out or coming out as well, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
there's
I heard
a new
about
Bill
that.
Cunningham. No, it's really interesting, isn't it? I don't know if it's linked to people getting more prominence because of social media and like greater access to all of these people through images which previously you would have had to really look for, so that people can kind of be revived, if you know what I mean, or not revived, but like there's more interest.
Yeah,
I don't know, or just documentary becoming an exciting form.
I think probably the social media thing, I would think is probably one of the reasons. I listened to a Business of Fashion podcast, quite an old one, which is with the 2 people who I think it's 2 directors of the McQueen film, and they saying something about, which I haven't seen, that they wanted to make it for non-fashion. They didn't want to make a fashion film, and it was meant to be for people not necessarily interested in fashion.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and they mention one screening where someone says, my friend dragged me here, I really didn't want to go. She said it was about fashion, I wasn't interested at all. And she said, I'm crying, it was so moving. I want to find out all about McQueen now. And so I thought, I mean, that's in a way the same as what you... Well, it's slightly different from what you say. But I guess I was just wondering whether there's a bigger audience. And there must be. It's the same with the McQueen exhibition. I guess maybe 10 years ago, even if it had been as fabulous, maybe not that many people would have gone. I don't know.
No, I guess it's more kind of visual and cultural prominence, but also it seems to be particular periods, because there's like McQueen, for example, but then there's a lot that focus on people from the set of like, or the era of the 70s, isn't there?
Yeah,
which true. I think you see a lot on Instagram. I don't think it's just that I follow that period or like people from that period, but do you think it's also that it's like better than doing a book? She says with a heavy heart, as someone who loves writing books.
I'm not, well, obviously not better, but I guess you get a different and maybe a wider audience.
Yeah.
I wonder, look, what I keep thinking about is the Valentino documentary.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, me too. Or the one you really like, the Isaac Mizrahi one.
Oh my God, that's my top favourite ever.
I know. And the Valentino one, I don't know when that was from. Maybe the 90s?
A few years ago. I don't think as long as that. I'll have a look.
And I'm not sure whether that was ever shown in cinemas. Do you think it was?
Well, that was the other thing I was going to say. Is there anything? That was 2008.
Oh, okay. No.
Is there anything about distribution? You know, because there's that. There's an Apple channel, isn't there? That's just fashion films, and there's.
Or this company called Dog Wolf.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who
that
makes
seems,
so many of them?
yeah. So I guess there is that. There must be that as well.
And I guess there are more on artists as well, because there's a new one on Andy Goldsworthy which I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, maybe.
And we have at work we have this at the Courtauld we have a channel called Canopy. I don't know if you've had access
I think
to
you
that.
mentioned it to me, but I don't think I had access.
Yeah, and that's amazing. The things I like. Last weekend I watched one on Herbert Matter, who is just amazing, but quite obscure really to have a documentary. He's do you know him? He's phenomenal.
No.
He's like a graphic designer, photographer, and he was in, he worked for Harper's Bazaar, and I just love them so much. He does like amazing like collages. Like there's this spread where the layout is amazing. I'm gonna have to send you some of them, where it's really graphic and it's like blue and white or red and white of skiing, and there's like photographs of women skiing onto the page as though they're jumping onto the page from the edges. It's incredible, really lovely, like modernist style. And I also saw a short one on Frances McLaughlin Gill and her sister, who again I think are amazing. They're like 40s, 50s more that they were best known. But a half-hour documentary on them and all different artists they've got on there. Really, really interesting.
Maybe there is something about documentaries being more popular.
Yes.
Which in itself
I think there definitely
is interesting.
Yeah, it's almost like trying to kind of keep hold of things or kind of capture them. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of trying to fix them.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Well, it was just because there's this really, what's it called? There's this really great documentary that I love, which I'm going to find in a second for you, that's about this woman who's looking for her own family. Like she's trying to find out who her father was. And it's really touching, and it's called Stories We Tell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about memory and history and like personal history. It's from 2013. It's just so beautiful. And it just, like, I've talked about it with students sometimes because, we always do a session where they bring in something to do with dress that's personal. And it just really made me think about how I really see, like, on American TV shows, including Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they're always saying about, we're making memories, as though it's not you're doing a thing to do the thing, you're doing it to remember it, if you see what I mean.
Sorry, there's some police sirens outside.
Oh, that's all right, I couldn't hear them. The Stories We Tell is about like how families, how like each member of a family can have a really different perspective on something. And I think it's almost, I think there's an interest in telling your own story, which social media really encourages, of kind of curating and directing your own documentary in a way through pictures or whatever. And I feel as though this is almost like educational films, if you know what I mean, but through that lens.
Yeah. Just
of it being like memory and history blurring together, because there's always like really great like oral histories with people who knew the designer or was inspired by them or whatever. So it's kind of how people felt about this period or this makeup artist, as well as the facts of their lives.
Yeah. And I was just also wondering about, but I don't think that is true, but I'll say it anyway, something like almost like an antidote to fake news and fake...
Yeah, that's true. And like reality shows.
Yeah. Something more considered, maybe.
Yes, that's really interesting. That's really interesting that it's something that's really trying to... Yeah, again, it's kind of trying to fix things.
Yeah.
In both senses of the word, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, once we do our documentary on all the makeup styles we're attempting, then
we'll fix something. I'm not sure what. It'll be a correction of something.
It will fix ourselves never to work again.
Yeah, that's a good note to end on, I think.
I think it is. Let's not push that further.
Okay.
All right, well, it's so good to speak to you.
Yeah.
And I'll speak to you next week.
Yeah, great. Speak to you next
All
week.
right,
Bye.
bye.